My clients have been sending me videos asking me about what happened to Finger. Why did he get arrested? Point blank, I don't know. I don't know who he is. I never been to his restaurant, never met him, never talked to him. With that being said, as I get into this video, I am not here to build him up. I am not here to break him down.
Casa de Compa, your place to stay. Riding Sosura steps away. Pool beach and good sunshine. Condos chill and the vibe's just fine. And on the channel we keep it real. Sosura life with tropical feel. Casa de Compa, don't just scroll by. Come stay and click subscribe.
What I am here to talk about is a lot of the mistakes I'm seeing on the clips that guys are sending me, what other expats are doing. That is the problem I want to talk about. Because, guys, as foreigners over here, we really got to be careful of what we say, what we do. Now, let me get into this a little more. And I'm going to give you guys examples of what I'm talking about, and then I'm going to really nail this home. So give me a couple minutes to get through this example, backstories. You know how, guys, I love giving people backstories. Okay, let me just say, nothing happens in Sosua in a vacuum. They know who we are, what we do, who we hang out with. They know our good points, our bad points, our good habits, our bad habits. The longer you're here, the less your life is private. If you're one of those expats who's going to come down here to the Dominican Republic, set up shop, and start doing nefarious things, they're going to know about it. If you're that expat who comes down here for certain activities, they're going to know about it. Nothing's private here, guys. Okay? So with that being said, they look at us as visitors. It doesn't matter how many businesses you own, how many properties you own, how nice you treat people. We're still guests. Now, not only do the people know what we do, so do officials in positions of authority know what we do, who we hang out with, what we're about. If you're doing something nefarious, they will let you do it for as long as it benefits them. If, an example, let's say you're peddling certain products foreigners shouldn't be peddling, and you're making it right amongst certain peoples in positions of authority, if you know what I'm trying to say, there's going to come a point where that person either gets moved out or needs some kind of reason to get promoted. You'll be the fall guy. Seen that before. Now, as far as people knowing about our business, let me give you a story about a buddy of mine. He's vet, known him for a while, great guy. So last year when things got slower, he came up to me. Well, let me back up. My buddy has another friend that when he would, come out and join us, I would always find a way to leave. It would be time for me to go home. I'll just go to a different bar. And it was obvious that I did not want to be seen in public with this other guy. So after a year goes by of this continuous behavior on my part, just getting up and leaving, not rudely, but, my drink was done. I paid my bill and off I went. Last year when things got slow in August and September, the moto conchos kept driving up next to my buddy and be like, hey, would you like to buy a certain product? And he'd be like, no, that's not me. Stop asking me. I don't want that. So finally, one of the motos guys say to him, it has to be what you do because you're best friend. This is what he does, and he does a lot of it. So why would you be any different? You guys hang out. We always see you together. Then he came to me and said, John, I understand why you leave when this person shows up, because you're associated with who you hang out with. So he automatically got grouped in with that. So keep that point in mind. The other thing I want to bring to people's attention is the former owner of Classico. He had some political problems here that turned into legal problems. Those legal problems went all the way through the court system to the Supreme Court. He won in the Supreme Court. He won his case. Matter of fact, he won it twice. So he comes back in, flies in from Miami. Now, this is a guy that has multiple properties, multiple businesses, generous with his money where it needs to be, thinking he had the right connections. He lands in Miami. You know what happens? He left on the same plane he flew in on. Then he went back to the Supreme Court for the second time, won his case. He came in. He was here for 4 or 5 months, and then he had to leave again. It doesn't matter what you perceive your status to be here. We're still guests. We're still visitors. This will never be our country. It can be legally. You could have a Dominican passport if you go through the process and get it. I do my best to be a productive member of this community, but I always remember I'm still a guest here, and my calm, relaxed, peaceful life here could change very quickly if I do the wrong thing. If I upset anybody in a certain position of authority, my life as I know it could change rapidly in a blink of an eye. So where am I going with this, guys? This ties into the arrest of Finger. Now, let me just say, I don't know if he's guilty. Don't know if he's innocent. What I do know, they wanted him for something. And him not being a Dominican, you're guaranteed to get caught or to get jacked up. They're going to get you. If they want you, they are going to get you because you're a foreigner. You know, this isn't Canada or the United States where there's the legal system is going to back you up. No, it doesn't work like that here, guys. Now, they're going to go through the motions. They're going to make it look good. But if they want you, you're done. So they got him. They put him in prison. And I'm going to play a clip of Finger. And more importantly, who I want you to focus on is the American guy here. Now, another disclaimer. I don't know who he is. I think I recognize him as another YouTube content creator. That could be good. More than likely, it's going to be bad for him. Because when you put yourself out there like we do as content creators, you need to be very selective on the words you use, on the subjects you're talking about. Because it'll never go away until you take it off the internet. And if somebody copied it, which you can do, even though they say, oh, you can't copy YouTube videos, you got to pay a monthly subscription to be able to download it, blah, blah. I can copy anything I want off of YouTube with my studio. Real easy. This clip I'm going to show you is proof of that. So what I want to teach people in this video is be careful who you hang out with. Remember the first story I just said? My buddy who had a friend who was into a certain substance. He didn't know it, but all the other guys who peddle that product knew it, so they naturally assumed he was into that product as well. And another point on that, so do the police. Nothing's secret in Sosua. There's no privacy here. The longer you're here, the more they know about you. So if your friend is into something, guaranteed you're going to be associated with that. And that's what this video is about. Association. You need to pick and choose wisely what you're going to support, what you're going to defend, and God forbid if you put your neck out it might get cut. So this is the video.
Hey, this is Jay with Finger. Brother Yahoo gave me the information. The information is true. I'm here with him now. As you see, he's locked up. Let's get the brother home. Hey, Black America, thank you, man. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I don't have no drugs. Y'all know me. I don't sell no drugs. I'm a businessman. I'm in jail for no reason. But I don't know how I got here. But thank you, Jim, man. Thanks a lot, brother. Thanks a lot. I know you took that trip to come see me. And you've been all over trying to find me, bro. I love you. And I know there's a lot of people that are concerned about this. Please get me out of here because this shit is crazy. And it's dead wrong what they're doing to me. That's all I can say. Thanks to everybody.
Okay. Let's look where this was filmed at. This was filmed in a police station. The guy's in handcuffs. So there's one thing about the locals, they'll give you enough room to hang yourself. You know, this isn't America. There's no social justice warriors down here. There's no court of public opinion for us foreigners. It doesn't exist. The guy that was in that video, if you know who he is, send him this video. Want to avoid him possibly getting jacked up, him having his own problems. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying it's guaranteed. But when you go into a police station, you give an audience to somebody the police want it for whatever reason, guilty or innocent. They want him for something, and you go in and support him. Now, you're put yourself in an adversarial position with the people in positions of authority, the cops. Why would you do that? Why would you go into the hornet's nest and stir it? You kick the hive. It doesn't make sense. I understand, you know, if he's your buddy, you want to help him, you feel bad for a situation, but you got to understand the context of the culture you are visiting. You don't ever make these people look like they're wrong if you're not prepared to fight. You just threw down a gauntlet. You drew a line in the sand. You gave them a challenge. At the same time, you said, this is my buddy. I have a vested interest in him. I want to see him freed. The next question is, what is the vested interest? Why is he important to you? What do you have to lose if he gets locked up? If you really wanted to help him, get him a lawyer. Somebody that can go in there who has the position of authority, has the legal authority to go in there and do it. All you did was go in there, tell him the police victimized him, tell him he's innocent, send me money so I can fight this. You just poke the bear. There's ways to do it and there's ways not to. So basically, you just put a bullseye on your back. And I hope I'm wrong about that, but you just don't throw it in the face of the authorities and not expect pushback. I hope that you're not involved in anything nefarious as well, because everybody knows it. And what do I mean by that, guys? Well, let me give you two more examples. Okay, there's a lawyer from D.C. who brags about bringing guys in as a tour group so they can enjoy the company of certain ladies at a certain age. That's illegal. Now, read between the lines what I'm saying here. And he made it public in a bar in town. I had the misfortune of being close to him in a bar one night, and people started throwing beer bottles at him. They were driving on motos, chucking beer bottles at him. Everybody knows. It's not a secret. There's another American who drives a Pasola around middle of Sosua, Main Street, Dr. Rosen, Alejo Martinez. Just drives the loop. Everybody knows what he's doing. They know the product he sells. He knows he has access to women who can be your guests for the night. Everybody knows it. Nothing happens in a vacuum down here. So if you're going to do stuff down here, they're going to let you do it until they want you to stop, or it's in their better interest to make an example out of you. They're trying to clean up the beach. They know what casitas do what down there. Some of them are just plain old bars and restaurants, and some of them aren't. I'm not saying this was one of them. But they know who does what. Nothing secret. Nothing secret down here. So if you're going to hitch your wagon to somebody that has some questionable behavior, you're automatically grouped in with them. That includes going to the police station like this guy did. Drinking with somebody in a bar, befriending them. You will be held to the same opinion that they are. I mean, that's in the States as well. But down here it's different because we don't share the same language. You know, we always have to remember we are guests here. And if you put yourself out there and you go against the wishes of people in positions of authority, be ready for pushback. They might make an example out of you too. Because think about it. There's a lot of Americans who come down here and do, or expats in general, let's just, let me just stop talking about Americans. But there's a lot of expats who do questionable things down here. And just because they can throw money around and get off it, there's going to be one time you can't. You're not going to be able to buy your way out of it. And they're going to draw the line in the sand, and they're going to make an example out of you. Seen it before, guys. Everybody says, we can pretty much get away with it. We just pay the right people. It'll be okay. No, things are changing down here. And there's another thing I want to bring up. Also, the world's changing. Western Europe is pushing back against their immigration. We all know what the heck's happening in America with immigration. The DR is doing the same thing. They're been deporting Haitians. Haitians been self-deporting. I've done multiple videos on it. So the Haitians that are doing nefarious things, I'm not saying finger was, I'm talking in general, they should be the first ones gone. It's going to be some point where they're going to do the gringos as well. It's going to happen. I'll give you an example. Under Trump's first term, when he deported a bunch of Dominicans out of New York City, and I was in the Dominican embassy submitting my paperwork for my cedula. This is February 2017. Yeah, February 2017, because I moved here in March of 2017. The line of Dominicans was down the street. And that was everybody getting deported. Fast forward a couple months, there was a retaliation push. There was an officer in immigration, had the immigration bus, who had family members that were deported from New York. He started picking up gringos as they were coming out of Superpola. They got all the way to Santo Domingo before they brought them back. It was a fiasco. It was crazy. So they will do things out of spite. They will do things in retaliation. They will do things just to prove they have the authority to do it. And they will take the repercussions for it. They'll play dumb. I mean, because if you think there's going to be the kind of repercussions they have, like we would expect in the States, there's nobody losing their job. There's nobody going to jail. It's, oh, well, oops. They might get yelled at. Totally different world. So as the expats down here, you really need to pick and choose what you're going to support. And supporting the guy that's got arrested on the beach as an illegal Haitian, and it's also been said in a couple of videos I watched that he was a big proponent of supporting Haitian rights. Well, what do you expect? If they're doing mass deportations and you're an illegal alien and you don't have the right to be here, and maybe if you weren't doing things correctly, do you think they're not going to make an example out of you? And you're going to be the gringo that's going to go into the police station and then support him, raise money for him, give him an audience on social media. Guys, be careful what you do. There's pushback down here. I don't want to see anybody get jacked up. The last place you want to be is in a Dominican jail, especially as a foreigner. It's even worse. It's horrible. You don't get food, you don't get water. It's overcrowding, dirty, violent, nothing good, man. It's horrible. You don't want to be caught in the legal system down here. So if you know the guy in the video, give him a heads up. You know, I'm not trying to belittle him. I'm not trying to push him down or anything or talk bad about him. The last thing I want to see is him have any kind of problem because he was trying to do the right thing, trying to help a friend and trying to be a good guy. You know, I don't want to see anything negative happen. And it's possible it could happen because that's how it works down here. As foreigners, we don't want to give them any kind of justification to say anything negative. We want to stay in our lane, guys. We want to be the good visitor. We don't want to be doing things, saying things that could bring light on you as an individual, especially if you're one of the guys down here that's doing things they shouldn't be doing. You know, I'm not saying anybody in that video is. I'm saying is be wise in your actions when you live down here. Understand the consequences of what happens down here. You got to understand the culture. You got to stay in your lane as a foreigner. I'm not saying don't have a good time. I'm saying do not get involved in politics. You know, when there's certain issues that are heated in this country, avoid them. Don't get involved in police process unless you hire them a lawyer. There's ways to do it, ways not to. And even though the intentions of the gentleman in this video, I believe, were just and honorable, there still could be very serious pushback on this because they're really looking at a lot of things right now. They're looking for examples. I'm going to be doing a video about a gringo for real estate fraud down here, forging documents. He hasn't been arrested yet, but there's been articles written about it. And I'm not touching it until charges have been filed because I don't want anybody to say, hey, you defame me, and then it creates problems for me. You know, this is my YouTube channel for fun, to promote my business, not to be a social justice warrior or anything. I enjoy it. And I want to help people. And I want to help people avoid losing money in real estate. I want to avoid them making mistakes. I want to avoid them having difficult times by not understanding the consequences of their actions. So with that being said, guys, always remember, keep private personal and personal private. Guys, be safe. I appreciate everybody watching my videos. Guys, give me a like. Subscribe to my channel because most people are not subscribed who watch my videos. And guys, peace out.